Morning, everyone. This morning we have the Carmelite mystic Edith Stein, or Teresa Benedicta of the Cross. And you may or may not know of her. She was born in the late 1800s. She grew up in a very traditional, conservative Jewish family. And as somebody that was a deep thinker, she ended up becoming an atheist because her experience of Judaism led her to believe that there couldn't be a God that was that kind of a God. So she didn't say yes into something, she just said no to what something wasn't. And then through her time of being an atheist, she became a pretty solid philosopher, working very closely with Husserl, a phenomenologist. In that deep thinking environment, she cared very much about experience. And this morning's meditation is going to be through her very presence in her life, the recollection, the direct experience for ourselves that not only does every moment of our own lives have a certain intentionality and meaning, if you will, but that there is an interconnectedness with all the events of our lives that lead us to this moment. And there's an interconnectedness with all times and peoples. She became Christian, though it's noted she became Christian largely influenced by Teresa of Avila. My understanding is that she became Christian because she had two friends who were Christian, and they were married, and the husband died. And the wife, in her grief, gave Teresa Benedicta, gave Edith Stein, a direct experience of the utter compassion and acceptance of Christ. That this woman's very disposition was evidence of what she claimed her belief to be. She was embodying it. And in that experience, that led her then ultimately to Teresa of Avila, ultimately to be a Carmelite, and ultimately to die in Auschwitz. She had a premonition, which was probably not far from just a direct reflection on what was happening in the world, that she would end up dying like her Jewish people. And so she gives testimony to the fact that everything about us, everything is at play for the embodiment of God. Everything. Our ethnicity, our enculturation, our learning, our lack of learning, our yeses, our nos, our strengths, our weaknesses. She saw through this experience of her Christian woman friend that there was something particular in the feminine about embodiment of Christ. And she said once, the world does not need what women have. They need what women are. So this morning we step into a meditation that opens us up to that embodiment of the Christ presence that is so incredibly reconciling and ameliorating and uplifting and healing, not in the exclusive way, but in the inclusive way of the Christ presence in all things. She died in 1942. They think she and her sister were put into the gas chambers. So I invite you to close your eyes. And I invite you once again to choose a place that's very high energy or meditative for you, and allow us all in spirit to gather in a circle in that place. And as we sit in circle, invite in the anonymous Carmelite from Sunday. Invite in Blessed Elizabeth from yesterday. And invite in Edith Stein. I invite in all other Carmelite mystics. I invite in all our angels, our spiritual guides, friends, saints, loved ones, all those meant to be a part of this circle. And let's open our hearts this morning to hold all humanity, past, present, and future, just as Edith did, with tenderness, with the knowledge that our gift, our empathy, our outpouring, in some mysterious way, lifts up the past, present, and future. Let's let this chant from Holy Saturday bring us more deeply into that sacred silence. De lamentazione, Jeremiae profete, misericordiae Domine, quia non sumus consumti, quia non defecerunt miserationes eius. Novi cliuculo multae est fides tua. Pars mea Dominus, dixit anima mea, proterea expectabo eium. Bonus est Dominus, sperantibus in eium, anime querentirum. Bonum est praestolari cum silencio, salutari Dei. Bonum est viro, cum pote veri jugum, abodolentia sua. Io Sede bit solitarius et asebit, quia levavit super se. Io ponet in pulvere hossum, si fortesit spes. Dabit percutiensi maxitam, saturabitur opprobrius. Jerusalem, Jerusalem, convertere ad Dominum Deum tuum. And in our golden ring of alliance, circle in which we sit this morning, we hold all past, present, and future with loving kindness. We hold all the spheres and dimensions. We hold all the atrocities. We hold all the glory. We sit as that presence, in that presence. And if you are open, allow Edith Stein to anoint you. Sense in spirit her approaching you. And with the sacred oil anointing you, that you too will be an outpouring of unconditional acceptance and love for all humanity and all creation. Let her bestow the gift upon you that all love is married to truth, and that our one loving fidelity is to truth as it presents itself at each moment. Requiring a divestation and a flexibility in which we truly become free. And in this truth that sets us free, we begin to end our meditation. Let yourself form an intention for today. Since Edith saw all presence having a fullness at all times of active intention. And when you are ready, I invite you to open your eyes.